Second Half Podcast. We're back with another episode. I'm your host, Jabari Saunders, and I got none other than one half of the Knuckleheads podcast, 13-year NBA career, incredible father, clearly, because you dropping him off at the school this morning, right? All of the above. So, 1Q, welcome to the Second Half Podcast, bro. Appreciate you jumping on.
Man, you already know it's all love. Appreciate you, Jay.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, I know we already know you from Chicago, but I want to know where you from, so it's not misconstrued or anything like that. So let's start with that right there, Q.
Man, I'm from the Hundreds, man. 115th and Parnell, you know, the Roseland area, but obviously that's my neighborhood, but also, you know, I'm from Cooper Park over there by my grade school, John Whistler, 118th and Loomis.
Yep.
And, you know, that's the area. Between
That's
there,
it.
Roseland, Cooper Park, Ada Park. That's where it was really it for me.
Got you. So, of course, you know, Chicago, huge basketball city. Was that the only sport that you played growing up, you know, on the South Side? Or was that was it?
I played, you know, obviously I played the little, you know, neighborhood games, Killer Man, football, catching the street, stuff like that. But I never played Little League, never played any organized anything else but hoop.
Got you. So, with basketball, who was the one to put the ball in your hands then?
My mom.
Really?
My mom, Emma Jean Richardson, used to be Emma Jean Cox, but she played with Dorothy Gators at Marshall. So she
really? Okay.
Yeah, so she was the one that, like, you know, obviously I was the youngest of the family. So by the time the bros didn't let me on the court, by the time they got off the driveway, my mom would be the only one to come out there and, you know, rebound for me while I'm out there. Don't nobody want to be out there by themselves like that.
Of
So,
course.
you know, she was the one that really got me going with that. And she watched basketball all the time.
Okay. I got you. So that made sense. But she played she played with Coach Gators in the city, all that good stuff. So, and then you had your older brothers and sisters that just kind of help navigate your game as well.
Well, really, not really. It was the neighborhood. My bros didn't really hoop like that. I mean, you know, obviously we had to hoop. They would do their thing, but they wasn't really into it like that. So it was really the neighborhood, you know, playing with guys in the hood, playing with my group of friends. And, you know, like it really started in the alley, on the crate, bro.
Yeah.
Going to Wendy's and Burger King, getting the milk crates and cutting the bottom out of them and throwing them up on the light pole, on the power pole out back. So that was really how it got cracking before we got the hoop in the driveway.
Bro, that's the second time when I heard that. I was just had Bobby on there, and he said exactly the same. He said, "Man, we had to take the milk crates, put it on the line, and whoever had the ball was the one who they was it."
You got that mini ball, you cracking, and that's where, you know, a lot of dudes. That's where we got our first dunk. You know, running and jumping up off the pole and going up like that. That's where you first started doing it at. So yeah, that's where it began for me.
That's what's up. So obviously, your mom put the ball in your hand. When you start playing, you know, kind of like you know, ball, really organized basketball, did you kind of start within that neighborhood? Did you start to get into the AAU, like, or did you start to play grade school ball? Or
grade school.
When did you kind of start?
Grade school for me. My grade school coach, Mr. Adams, Gary Adams. He a Cool Park legend. You know what I'm saying? Legend in that area. Older white man in the middle, always came to the hood and took care of us and showed love. So my older cousin, Rico Hill, he played for Whistler and then went to Brother Rice. But like when he was in 8th grade, we were in like 4th and 5th grade. So that was like my first year ever playing organized ball. Just sat on the end of the bench and just watch. You know what I'm saying? Because we never got in. Every now and again when it was a blowout or something, our coach would throw us in. We had like 7 guys on the court. He would just have one guy just run in off the bench type shit. So, but that was the first time I ever played organized with 5th grade John Whistler.
Wow. Okay, I love that. So now you playing organized ball. When did you realize that? When was it that you realized you had game and you started really taking basketball serious?
6th grade. 5th grade, you know, 5th grade, I was like, in gym class, I thought I was pretty cool. But, you know, like I say, didn't see the floor in the game. But 6th grade, after Rico, Britt Booker, after they graduated, they was the big guys. They was Britt Booker was the man. Do you hear me? He was like Mike in the hood in Cooper Park. Britt Booker, no lie. And him and Rico was there. Then when they graduated, so it was like, that was my first year. I got to start. I led the team in scoring and all of that stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm cool. Still was little though, but I felt good about myself in the hood and at the school. You know what I'm saying? So started right there in 6th grade.
Gotcha. So you here's your grade school. You go through. You're killing. You're figuring things out. Of course, you're still early on. Then it's time for high school. You weren't always supposed to go to the west side to go to high school because you, like you said, you was on the south side. I need to
Yeah.
understand what that mix was and how you found yourself headed over there.
So what happened in seventh grade? I started playing with the AAU traveling team. Larry Butler, Larry
Yep,
Legend. You know what I'm
LB.
saying?
Yep,
LB,
yes, sir.
LB,
Illinois Warriors. Yes,
Illinois
sir.
Warriors. So that's when he first. I was like one of the first one of our crew that really got with the team. And
Yep,
Bobby Smith. Bobby Smith was the shit then. He was super cold. Bobby was always was cold. You know what I'm saying? Nigga probably still got game right now. But
yep.
for real. But but he was like the dude on the team that first year I got there. Then little by little, we played Cordell Henry and Rod Thompson. We played against them. And then like Cordell went crazy on us. What the fuck is this little dude running around
Right.
hitting floaters and stuff? And he was killing. Next week we go into practice and LB bring him. I'm like, what the hell, this little dude coming in. Then LB like, yeah, he gonna be with the team, whatever. So like then that was like when CDL came. Then after that, right before we was about to go, because they came right before we were about to go to nationals or whatever we were
Okay.
going to, and that was when we were like 13 or something. And so they were so new that him or D Gates didn't come because D Gates came like the next week, and then
Yeah.
he was like, that was like, I'm not going out of town. I don't know them dudes. And so they didn't come. But then when they got to the team, it was like we instantly locked in, bro. Like bros standing out of each other's house, like Cordell mom, like my mom, D Gay's mom, like my mom, all vice versa and stuff like that. So they they were the reason that I ended up going to Whitney Young because
Got you.
they were already gonna go there. And Lonnie Holland, who went to Whistler with me, Lonnie was a year older than me. He graduated first, and he went to Whitney Young. So
Got you.
I ended up going to Brother Rice my freshman year.
That's what I thought, cause like Andre Brown and them, they was all over there, and who else, like
Andre,
T Lands
Andre,
and
no, Andre was at Leo.
that's right, he was a Leo.
He
You're
went to
right.
Leo, but I went my first year because I wanted to play with Britt and Rico. You know what I'm saying? My cousin, like my freshman year was their senior year.
Got you.
Me, my cousin Nate Cox, and Tim O'Neill were freshmen. All three of us should have been on varsity. All three of us. Like they put up like we didn't even get to try out. That's how shady it was because he knew
Yeah,
if we got to try out, we was gonna wreck that thing up and we
it was
belong.
done.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like easy.
right.
They put us on sophomore, not freshman. You know, in Cavalry, they got freshman team A, freshman team B. They put us on
Yeah,
sophomore, bro. We were the first team in like the history to go 24-0. We mollywopped everybody. Everybody. And I was averaging like 30 and like 17, bro. Like crazy numbers. We was
yeah.
like, come on, man. We had no business. I was like, as soon as he told me that was like the first time where my pops, that was like one of the real life lessons that my pops hit me with. Where I was pissed at him at the time, but I understood it later. Cause like
Yeah.
as soon as it was a lot done. Catholic school cost money, bro. It was a lot done to get me and Nate to be able to go there because we didn't have it
Yep.
like that from where we was from. So you know what I'm
Right.
saying? It was things being put in place and things done to
It was the
make that
recruiting that
happen.
happened before everything.
So
Exactly.
I get we in school and everything, whatever. Then come time for like trials and all that. I'm like, man, yeah, we about to be, and Coach Rich, and then the cold part was the head coach of the varsity name was Pat Richardson. He's got the same last name as me. I'm like, whatever. So he tell us, nah, y'all ain't even gonna get to try out for varsity. Like we like what? Like we ain't get to try out. Like I get out of there. I'm like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like,
Absolutely.
I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, you know how it is then. Like, bro, all my partners, Corey McGetty starting at Fenwick,
Yep.
Cordell D. Gates starting at Whitney Young. Like all my
Yep.
partners is out getting
Going.
themselves going and getting cracking,
Yep.
and everybody's starting on varsity what they at. What I
Yep.
look like, I'm like, nah. I get home, I tell my pops that pops was like, and my pops is not the bad. He's not the one who's in the sports. My pops fixed cars, repair stuff. He drove the CTA
Yep.
train for 39 years. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Mm.
don't really get into that. Don't care. He only cared once I really got into it. That's the only reason he cared
Right.
about it today. But like prior to that, he didn't give a damn. Man, my pops looked at me and said, I don't care what you talking about. Like, yeah, like you're not leaving that school right now. Like he was this and this has been done. Like You like, nah, that ain't how it go. We like shit gonna happen that ain't gonna go your way in life. You can't
Yeah.
just cut tail and run. Like you gonna
Pops will give
finish
you them
this.
life lessons real quick.
Listen, he said one thing you gonna do. Y'all gonna finish this year. Then we could talk about whatever after the fact. But like
Yeah.
throughout that year, he got to see what we was talking about, and he saw how unhappy he was. So when the end of the year came, Cordell Pops Judge, Mr. Henry, boy, he was instrumental. Him, LB,
Yeah.
and really Coach Stanton from Whitney Young, my coach was like all of them was instrumental in helping my pops get to that point because it was like, yo, like Mr. Henry was like, Lee, you got to let him do this. You got like he was
Yeah.
like, I come help pick him up sometimes. This, that, and the third, because my pops was concerned about that. Like, he drive the train. He don't want me
Yep.
taking the CTA from the like. I had to use. Man, my first year, bro, I took two buses, took the metro, and then had to get on the train because we had the train station right there across from when you get off and walk right across
Yep.
the street. Yeah, so
Well,
it
right
was
across the
like
street.
take the metro to the end of the line, bro. Then my junior year, I had a little beater. Pops built me a little beater, so I was cracking. But like that first year, boy, that travel used to be hectic, my boy. An hour and a
I
half.
bet. I bet. Both ways.
Yeah.
Both ways.
But that
That's
was how I
crazy.
got to Whitney Young. After that first year, we did our thing and we dominated. But then it was like, man, I need to get over there with my partners, like you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
then it
Yeah.
was
Then it was
obviously
on.
it was on after that.
Yeah. Because listen, being out there in Joliet, that's all you heard is, you being compared to a lot of the city things. And at the time for us, we had like Ty Calderwood and Gary
Mm-hmm.
Bell, who was balling, and they would be killing. Like Ty went to Wisconsin, Gary went to Notre Dame, but everybody was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, you got to play them city schools. Like if that's what you
Right.
want to do, like that's where you got to
Yeah.
go. That's where you get your stripes." Then we started figuring it out and was like, "All right, cool." But I remember my mom actually took us to a game. Y'all, I don't remember who y'all played, but it was you, D. Gay. I think y'all played up there at DePaul. Might have been
Okay.
y'all senior year up
Yeah, that
there.
was the
And when
Hoops in
I
the Loop Classic. We
hoops in the loop,
played. We lost that game
yeah,
to
yeah,
Kentucky. We lost that
yep.
game. Yep.
But that was when I was like, oh, y'all can go. Y'all had nothing but dogs on the
Yeah.
team. I was surprised y'all lost that game, and I was still young, but I'm like, man, y'all had dogs. Tell me, like, how y'all got to put that together and see it come to fruition on court. Like you said, you don't always get a chance to hoop with all your guys unless you make that transition. Like, once y'all finally click, your sophomore, junior, like,
I
tell me a
mean,
little bit about that.
it was one of them things that it just built. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like where you got we beat a lot of teams off our connectivity, our friendship. Like I say, we legit like to this day. I was in both of their wedding. They was in my wedding. Them my bros and my kids, uncles. I'm they kids, uncles, and all of this. This is to this day. We be fam, brothers from another mother. So it's like
Yep.
that started in 6th, 7th grade, bro. So it's like when that thing built like that, and it was like we really on that court, we knew each other. Like we knew each
Yep.
other off the court, but that we took that onto the court with us, and I knew what CDL wanted to do. Like he knew what I wanted to do. G Gates, and we knew how to motivate and drive each other. Like you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and make and get more out of each other than somebody else could. So it was like the crazy part because that was our core at Whitney Young. But when we went with the Warriors, that same three was the core. You see what I'm saying? So like we took that national. We went with the Warriors, and obviously we had other good players, but that core was right there, and we beat the crap out of some of the best teams in the country
Yeah.
that year
Yep.
going into our scene.
Yep.
That's why when we came back to high school, we was ranked number one because
Yep.
they saw what we did as an AAU team and knew that core was the core of this team. So it was like it was a landslide, and so that was really how, and we took pride in that, bro. Like you said, we D Gates is from here from Country Club Hills. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? His mom grew up
Yep.
on the West Side, and he spent time on the West Side because he had family there still. But he grew up in the South Suburb.
Yep. Out there in the
See
burbs.
there from 84th and Honorary. You know what I'm saying? He from the South Side. I'm from the
Yep.
Hundreds. We
Yep.
looking at it like we get to Whitney Young and we going to play Westinghouse, Crane. We playing, you know what I'm saying, Marshall, all these teams.
Marshall.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's like these real West Side teams.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
run this shit, and we from the
Right.
South Side.
And y'all
You
from
know
the
what I'm
South Side.
saying? We yelling our neighborhood out in y'all bit, and they did not like that. And then we at Whitney Young, bro. We at the nerd
Yeah.
school. They don't do
Yeah.
nothing in sports. They not supposed to be good at basketball. We
Right.
flipped the
Right.
whole table over on all that. You know what I'm
And ever
saying?
since they've been rocking and rolling, boy.
And we wear it with a badge of honor. That 98 squad, we changed everything.
Sure did.
Jordan, like we was a Jordan brand school for some years after that. We turned everything up.
Yeah, y'all had it going. So we talked some about this and some of the names you had. LB, you had Slug, the radios,
Slug,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, them with the guys who was coaching the Illinois Warriors. Tell me about that team because that clearly helped pull you together for what you're even doing now, right? To have
Yep.
that lifelong bond in a way. So tell me about that team because we
Without
played on the younger team and y'all was different.
without LB, bro, coming to scoop me up and getting me to play for his team, like I don't know what life would be like for real because that exposure, you know what I'm saying? That exposure and then like you talk about the friendships, the relationships I got brothers for life from that
Yep.
started right there. And but those, going out and getting that exposure and competing like that, bro, like that, and then Butler having the foresight, because Butler always played us up. You know what I'm saying? Like we played on the older teams, even if we didn't get to play a lot. I hung around, you know what I'm saying, around Mikey Robinson. I got to see a real McDonald's All-American up close and
Yeah.
see what that's supposed to look like and be like. And even though I wasn't playing, I watched him. I knew what he was supposed. I knew he was the dude, and I always paid attention. Like, damn, Mikey Robinson, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mike just like, look how he walking, look how he
Right.
warming up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that was the real thing right there that you got to see. Like, you hearing about all of these dudes, the Kevin Garnett's, the these and that. You hear about them, but I don't get to be on the bus on a road trip with him and seeing how he move and seeing what he do and seeing how he act. And like that was like for me, those things was big for us to see. Like first it was about, becoming one of the best high school players, then trying to get a scholarship to one of the schools, then like
Yep.
I'm trying to be one of them. Like I want to be like him. Like he a McDonald. Look how everybody act when he walk in the room. When he show
Yep.
up, look how everybody like they tapping each other. Like yo, like yeah,
Yep.
like okay,
You shake the room.
yeah, I need that effect. Like so that was like that was big for us, man. For us to
Yeah.
start as shorties and be able to see that as we coming up and see that example up close, and then like I say, to get to see how from the college coaches to the recruiters to everybody act when he walk in. And it's like, yeah, I need that. And we used to sit and talk
Yep.
about like, hey, bro, look. We just like everybody else, but we inside there just looking like that. Like, that's crazy, bro. Look how they act. And then, everybody want to get a piece of him, want to talk to him, want to say something, do this. So that was inspiring for us, bro.
And that's how you ended up taking that as well as you and the rest of the team.
Straight up. I thought, listen, when I got exposed to that, I was dead set. I'm a McDonald's All American. Like people would
That's
meet
it.
me and like my best friend, one of my best friends, shooter, Jason Parker. That's one of the first stories he told me. When I got to Whitney Young, that was one of the first things I said to him. He said I was looking at you like, and I don't even remember it. I don't. But he told me, he was like, bro, like one of the first conversations we had, he was looking around like, I don't know what nobody else on. I'm about to be a McDonald's All American. I was like, damn, I said that? Like, that's crazy. But
Hey,
that's what
it stuck.
I can remember. I
That's what
was
you was
dead
on.
set on that. I was set on it.
That's real. So who else you play with on your team when you was with the Warriors?
Man, it was kind of, I mean, outside of CDL, D Gates, Rod Thompson, Brian Wardle, we was like, and Kevin Jones, they went to Roberson. We was kind of like that first squad that was like core.
Squad.
But we
Yep.
had so many people come and go. You know what I'm saying? Bobby played with us at some point. Corey Maggette played with us at some point. Frank Williams played with us at some point. Like, so we had a who's who, like, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's kind of coming and going, but the team that kind of stayed consistent from start to finish seventh
Yeah.
to always seeing you was like the B Wardles, the Rod
Yeah.
Thompsons, me. We had Travis Wilson come at some point, Corey
Yeah.
Harris. Like Corey was part of that crew, the core crew too, because he went to Whitney Young with us and ended up
Mm.
coming from out south too. So it was like we was a bunch of South Siders running the West Side, man. That's the
But
best way I could put it. That's the best way I could
for
put it.
sure. For sure. No, so obviously Whitney Young, you had all the success there. AAU ball. It's time for you to choose a school, right? You said, listen, I'm going to be a McDonald's All American, as well as that. Not only just doing what you need to do on court, but now it's time the recruiting process. What was your recruiting process, and why did you end up choosing DePaul? And who was the other people that you actually chose or had on your list?
Man, my final five was Colorado, Arizona, Kentucky, Kansas, and DePaul. And for me, it came down to just want to be close to the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was super tight with my family. People know that, at this point. But my brother Lee was just coming back from the Navy, so he was back at the crib, and it was like it's a chance for me to be right here in front of the fam, and they get to come damn near all of my games. Like even the road games is drivable. You know what I'm saying? Cincinnati, St. Louis, all of those type of different games in the Conference USA was super easy to get to for the fans. So I was like, Bobby was already signed on, Lance was already signed on, and we had talked about it, but I knew going there, like I felt I was in a situation where at that point in my mind I could go anywhere in the country and play. It wasn't to me about like, oh, this or that. It was like it don't matter where I go, I'm gonna play. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But then I looked at it like DePaul is the situation where, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew I was going to, at that point, I knew I was going to the NBA. It was either after my first year or second year. I thought it was going to be after my first year, but I ended up
Yep.
changing my mind clearly. But so I was like, man, I get to go be at the crib. They get to watch me play for this 1 year, and then who knows where the hell I'm gonna go when I get drafted to the NBA. So they did, so they may not get a chance to see me as much up
Exactly.
close like that. So like for
Yeah.
me, that meant more. And I knew I was gonna turn the city up because what me, Bobby, and Lance was doing hadn't been done since the Terry Cummins and Mark Aguirre days, and that was
Yep.
obviously that loomed large in our city, and like it was a lot of different factors, man. Michael Jordan was retiring. We felt like that was a big part of the selling pitch. Like y'all gonna run a city, like it's gonna
Yep.
be y'all, and literally it
It
was
was
us.
y'all.
It was Sammy Sosa, and then we was like the next biggest thing. And then you could throw Elton Brand in there because he won Rookie of the Year that year. But like
Yep.
for us to be, you know what I'm saying, up there and all that. Like when I got that magazine cover, bro, couldn't tell me nothing.
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 Right.
Nothing. Oh, nothing, bro. You go down the ESPN zone in the city, that thing was
Yeah,
down
well,
like
we had,
both
yeah,
streets going down the streets on the flagpoles. It was big as hell
sure
on the window
was.
shields. I was like, man, you couldn't tell. I felt like one of them. I felt like one
Yeah,
of them for real. Like, you know what I'm
as you
saying?
should
Like
have.
that was that for me, like that was something that I wouldn't trade. You know what I'm saying? To have
Yeah,
all of that go on in my city at the crib and to have like I could have never imagined, fans gonna be out there with big ass Q tips and going crazy and that it was gonna be the way it became. Like
yeah,
I felt like a pro my freshman year for real.
yeah. All them things that sound like you manifested beforehand when you be like, yeah, I'm about to be a McDonald's All American. Like, nah, I'm one of them ones, and yeah, I'm going to the league. You speaking it out there into existence, putting it there is like them all the benefits of what happened there. You know?
Bro, I feel like my sophomore year I put myself in a situation where you got to do something because I went and got
Yeah,
this tattoo, right? My first ever tattoo. I tricked my pops. Pops like, say, yeah, pops, can I get a tattoo? Da, da, da. He thought I was playing. Yeah, whatever, whatever. So I ain't say nothing else to him. Me and Corey Harris, we go out to the south suburbs. He got a homeboy that's about to do us up in the basement, gonna get us some little hood tattoos. So,
yeah,
the
of
and
course,
one man was cracking back then. It's a whole lot added to it now, but at that
of
point, I had
course.
just got the and one man by itself and this was biting in itself because somebody else who I got a chance to see, Larry Hughes, he was a year older than me,
Yep.
but he had the tattoo first, and his shit was like I think it said St. Louis finest or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, I'm like, yeah. So I go and I'm like, I get the N one man and I get Chi-Town finest, right? So you already know what that means. It's like, hold on, like Corey. I remember when we about to get it, Corey. Like, bro, what you know what I'm saying?
That's what you finna do.
Look, I say. So either I'm gonna be that or I'm gonna look stupid. I say it's either one way to go.
One or
Either I'm
the
gonna
other.
be that or I'm gonna look stupid. And that was sophomore year. And like Corey, for me, he was the rabbit that you chasing the
Yep.
whole time from eighth grade when I,
Man.
I first played 50, dog, like me and 50, some of the best friends still to this point. But like I first played Corey Maggette when he was in we was in sixth grade, bro. 6th grade. Corey already like 6'1".
And still
Six
probably
one,
top diesel
six
strong.
chopped up, got muscles as a little guy, already got cuts in
Yeah,
his arm and stuff. And I'm
man.
like, he played for the it was the Magic then. His team was called the Magic, and then they became the Pacers. But like, I'm looking at this dude like, what the hell? 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, he go to camp, and then it's like, boom, he number one freshman. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And then he get to play varsity. I'm like, I gotta catch him. It was me and him the
That was the one you
whole
was going to
time. That
get.
was who I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like 7th, 8th grade, bro. I wasn't ranked all the way up there like that.
Yeah.
Freshman year, especially me being on sophomore instead of varsity, that still held me down. So I was always just looking at this shit like I can't. That's why sophomore year, bro. Sophomore year when I transferred to Whitney, it was blood in the water, bro.
Yeah.
It started at Malcolm X College for the little summer league. Went from Malcolm X to Kennedy King, and it was like I'm in this bitch, like
Yep,
for
for
real,
sure.
like talking crazy. We fighting. They like, oh man, they got something going on over there because they hadn't seen that type of energy out of a Whitney
Yeah.
Young type team before.
Exactly. Nah, that you get to somewhere that I definitely want to go with this because so knowing that it's you chasing after the guys, you're going after right. So now you headed to DePaul, you finish up your 2 years there, draft night. What that
Mm-hmm.
looked like for you, and what was that? What was your mental and your emotions going through during that time?
Man, you excited? You know this about to be the biggest night of your life. No matter what happened, this is about to change your life forever. So it was like everything leading up to the draft, the whole, the week to get there. We was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so that's where our draft was at before they started having it just in New York.
New
So
York, yeah,
we kicked it. We had got the fan, got the homies there. We all having a good time. And when you actually get to the actual draft, that was all bad for me, bro. I was pissed. I wanted to be a lottery pick. I knew I was better
yeah,
than a lot of people that was getting picked. And to be sitting in that green room, sitting at that table, you on national TV, bro. And it's like, I'm sitting here looking, and like you gotta take it to context. Like I been played against a lot of these dudes. Like prior
yep.
to like from high school to from camps
USA,
to USA basketball to being in college playing against them, and then after college playing against these dudes in draft workouts. I didn't
yeah,
told these dudes apart. Like I'm sitting here just watching. And then it get to the point to like now, your family, you got to make sure, you know what I'm saying? Cause like my sister, she getting upset. My pops, he worried, he getting, and I'm sitting here like I gotta play it off like I'm super cool. When
uh huh.
I was living. The only
You was
thing that
hot.
saved, man, listen, the only thing that saved my whole attitude that night and the way I walked out of there with a chip. It was there. It was no way.
Yeah.
I was looking at people like they was
Eh,
crazy, like y'all tripping, like okay. But the only thing that saved me that night was that I slipped so far that I was able to get picked by the Clippers, and that's where D had already got picked. And not only
yeah,
that, right? They had 3 picks in the first round. They had 3, 10, and 18. So at 10, they picked Keon. Keon, my dog. I've been playing against Keon since we 12 years old. We
yeah,
cool. I'm like, man, that's another one of the homies. While I'm walking across the stage to go shake David Stern's hand, this literally happened. You know how they be announcing the trades? They announcing the trade, doing a recap of the trade. The Clippers just traded whoever they traded, but they just getting back Derek Strong and Corey Maggette. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, now,
all
so yeah,
the
because
all the
like I
homies
didn't. So now I'm going into my
there.
rookie year. You feel me? I got 3 homeboys for sure, and Keon, D Miles, and Corey,
Yeah, and Corey.
super tight homeboys. And me and LO ain't like that, but I know him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Yeah,
I'm like, man, we got a college team. This is literally what we
yeah,
thinking. It's a
yeah.
picture of us when I finally make it behind the scenes to where D is at, because he was already doing his rounds from being drafted third.
Oh, it's
We
media stuff.
we
Yep.
shaking up and everything on the camera, like we in LA. I'm like, they like D Miles, like they let us in LA together, and we like, oh my God, I'm telling you, that was the only thing that made everything, because like we partied that night, bro. We got up the
Yeah,
next morning.
yeah.
That was the first time either of us ever flew on a private plane. They flew us private out to LA, bro. Like Everything was a movie, bro. We stayed in the hotel, the joint where Ja Rule had just did the Living It Up video
Oh
in, bro. The
wow. Oh yeah.
L'Armitage in
Y'all was
Beverly Hills,
living.
bro. Like, man, you could, bro. I'm 19, he 18 at the time. I turned 20 like a little bit later, but like we teenagers, we thinking we
Yeah.
superstars, bro. You couldn't tell, and we playing for the B team, we playing for the Clippers and everything, and we did not give a damn, bro. We was the happiest dudes, period. Like once I
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
past the actual draft, like everything was love.
For real. I gotta ask you this question because I think every athlete kind of runs, especially when you from this area, where you seeing somebody get something, you like, hold on, I gotta add you to my list. Like you on the who was on your
Listen,
hit list that you was just like, hey, as soon as that ball go up, it's on. Like who was your top
it
ones
was
that was on your hit
it
list?
wasn't. You want to know what's hilarious? When I going into the league, the person I wanted to go against the most was Reggie Miller because I hated Reggie Miller from the Bulls from
Yeah.
the Bulls rivalry. Literally, I've told Reggie this before. Like the first time I played him, I knocked the hell out. She's like, "Boom!" like just off the strength. Like, watch, I'm gonna lay his ass out one time. And it didn't help that Reggie was, he still used to do all the tricks of the trade and stuff. I
Yeah.
was sitting there, I'm like, I'm gonna get in there and lay his ass out one time for when he pushed MJ and hit that 3-pointer and bowed on us.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
dead honest truth. Everybody, like the people from my draft, I didn't really look at them. I didn't look at them like they didn't do it. They
Yeah.
didn't do it. I just was like, I'm just about to go be cold. Like that was my
Yeah.
whole thing. Like boy, we was in practice and like, you know what I'm saying? Cause like my first year, you too young to understand everything that's going on. Like they had a whole lot, you know what I'm saying, with us young
Yeah.
boys coming in and we made it tough. Cause when we got in practice, it was an all-out war. It was all out,
Yep.
and like literally the second team was, you could pretty much say we was better than the first team. You had me, Keon, Corey, uh
That's
D
crazy.
Miles and like Sean Rooks, bro. And sometimes it would be Earl Boykins, and it's like the starting five wouldn't win in practice, bro. And it would be like that. We talking crazy, we ready to
Of course.
scrap everything. And it's like at that point, I done told Alvin Gentry that he at that point in his coaching, he didn't know what to do with that shit yet. And it was like the front office, they was trying to clear stuff out the way. They had like some of the older guys from a couple years before, T Nesby. Shout out T Nesby, Southern Illinois finest. But they was trying to move them guys. So like I'm
Gotcha.
like, why are they playing? Like Eric Piatkowski, like they playing over us. Like, bro, we don't let them
Y'all the
score in
one.
practice. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't. It be bad for us. And that was the first time in my life where it was like, you know how it was coming up. Like, bro, you go work, you get you kill and play. You gonna play. This was the first time where it was like you not
It
gonna
wasn't
play.
that.
And then not only you not gonna play, like this was the first time in my life where I got a DNP where I wasn't hurt. You just didn't play. I was looking
Yeah.
like, that was tough, bro.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
tough.
I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? Having them DMPs and not even be hurt. I'm like, bro, I'm usable. Like what? Come on, bro. And we ain't getting wins like that. Like I could see if
Right.
y'all wasn't getting
We
out there
playing
getting
for the
wins, but y'all ain't.
Clippers, bruh. We
like
playing for the
we.
Clippers.
Yeah, for sure. So you spent that time with the Clippers. Then y'all honestly started to shake the world once they finally took the leash off.
Yeah.
Y'all started to shake the world. Y'all were a whole cultural phenomenon. I'll never forget, even though I still got questions. I remember y'all being in the Nike Freestyle commercial. You know what I'm saying? You and Dez, y'all in there. I'm just
What's
like,
crazy is this. I was not in that commercial. Everybody thought I was the dude in the do-rag. That was not
it
me.
wasn't you.
I was not in
Stop
that commercial.
playing.
I swear to you, I was not in that commercial.
They threw a lookalike in there just for the effect.
I
Then
don't even think it was that because it was like D Miles just got in it by accident. Like I guess somebody didn't show up to the shoot. LO was the original one who was supposed to be there. Now
gotcha.
I stayed way out in the valley, like in Encino. This is like being like an hour from like,
Yep.
South LA where everybody by the
Yep.
airport and the marina and all that stuff. So D Miles stayed in the marina. So Eloga went to the shoot to go do it because he was a Nike athlete. We were Jordan athletes. So
Exactly.
somebody didn't show up or I don't remember what happened, but somehow LO ended up calling D Miles like, hey, why don't you come up here and be in this commercial? Blah, blah, blah. And he was D-Mal like, I don't know if I could do it. So he called our agent, they called whoever, and they said, yeah, you go do it. So that's how D-Miles even got in it.
Got
But
you.
like, it was crazy because like everybody thought that was me, and it was not me. I used to
It
get, I
wasn't
still
you.
like to this point, you saying this right now is like still to this day, somebody thinking that was me, and it
Man,
wasn't.
that showed news to me. I was like, oh, there's shit. It makes sense, Q to be in there. I would say, just a
Yeah.
quick flash of it. When you see you, like, oh, that's Q right there. You ain't really, but
It
it
was
wasn't even you.
believable. It
That's
was believable, but it was not
yeah.
me.
It
It was
wasn't even
not
you.
me.
Wow, that's
No.
great. So talk about that, man. Like y'all, like I said, y'all broke a phenomenon. Everybody wanted to be y'all. Everybody, I'll never forget the Slam magazine. You, Lo, Diz, y'all had the jerseys on backwards. Like
It's
y'all
right
was
there.
just, you know what I'm saying? Like
It's right there
y'all
on the
had them on.
wall.
Yo, y'all
Yeah.
had it on. Like y'all was coming in. Y'all was young. Y'all was cool. Y'all had all the joy. Like being signed to Jordan too. On top of it, it's
Nah,
like, bro, how
people,
did tell me that how did that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Jordan
You,
Brand.
Mike, yeah. Tell me how you got
So
on with Jordan.
this is one of the coldest things ever, bro. Like people think that I met Jordan in the league or whatever. I met Michael Jordan on 115th and Wallace, bro. The block next to mine. I grew up on
Right.
115th in Parnell. 115th and Wallace is where Juanita's family is from, where she grew
Got
up.
you.
So I know her. I know her nephew Jordan. I mean John and Carl and all of them. So
Yeah.
I'm standing on the block one day, bro. This was when I was about to go. Was I about to go to DePaul or I want to say that I was going back. That's what it was. This was after
Yep.
my freshman year. First time I met Mike, right? No, this was going into my freshman year. I'm tripping. It was like a Easter or something. It was one of the holidays. Something. He was like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm standing in front of the crib, and it's like, I got the alley to the next block, and it's just like you start seeing people like hella kids going through and running,
Running
and be
down
like,
there.
damn, what's going on? And so after so long, one of the shorties come run back through the park and like, you Q Richardson, right? I'm like, yeah. They like Michael Jordan on the next block. He wants you to come over there. I looked at my partner. We like, fuck, like.
we on
I'm
the
like,
way.
I'm like, well, I'm about to do. I say, because it ain't nothing but a little 2 minute walk. I'm like, damn, somebody at least walk through this alley and see. But as soon as you get like halfway through the alley, it's people, cars everywhere.
Number of
You can't
people.
see nothing. So it's like he had built like a basketball court over there for them at that house. And you as you get closer, Mike over there shooting hoops and like shooting around and playing. Then he playing catch with football people. It's people everywhere, bro. I swear to
Everywhere.
God, this is a true story. So as I'm walking up, Mike turned around like, "What's up, Q?" I was like, "The like the."
Like this man know my name.
And he calling me Q. I'm like, yo, I'm keeping it together. But I get back there and like he dabbed me up. We sitting, we talking, and he was like, "What you gonna do? You going back to school?" Like I'm like, yo, this crazy. Like Mike know what the fuck I got going on. And then it was like, bro, I'll never forget because like Mike, that somebody went got McDonald's for. I'm like, Mike really eat McDonald's like he's doing the
Right.
commercials and shit.
Right.
But like it was
The
crazy. Like
regular stuff people do, he do, and
the
you just like, man, it's so
bruh,
fascinating.
somebody pulled up on a motorcycle. Mike wanted to ride the motorcycle. Mike took the motorcycle, rode it around the block. I'm like, Michael Jordan is a cool, just a regular dude. Then I swear to God, R. Kelly pulled up. R. Kelly, he
Wow.
from like 117th somewhere right
Yep.
around there. Like he pulled up. Like I'm like, yo, this is crazy. We in the hood right now. Like one dude I'll never forget. A dude pulled up in an old school, like a box Chevy or something, or might have been an Impala. He went and left and came back. Boy had went and got a whole Michael Jordan mural airbrush spray painted on the hood, and Mike signed it, bro. It was crazy. It was like crazy, 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 crazy. That was like the first time I ever met Mike in my neighborhood on
Yeah.
on the block, bro. And
On the
then
block.
you fast forward to we were going to the to his Santa Barbara. He had the flight
Okay.
school. We were so
Okay.
after my sophomore year, I went there to be a counselor. After my freshman year, I went there to be a counselor after that. So
Yep.
we get there as after we got drafted, we was in LA, Santa Barbara, only an hour from LA. We drive from LA to Santa Barbara to go be at the camp. So we every day, like the reason we go up there is like it's good runs because he would always have his counselors for the camp would be all of the All-Americans around the country at college. And then like he would
Yep.
take like 2 or 3 of like the top high school McDonald's All-American type dudes. So like this first particular year, it was like that whole North Carolina, it was like UNC boys, it was Chris Paul from Wake, it was TJ Ford, it was them type of dudes. Sean May,
Yep.
the Rashard McCants, the Ray
Yeah.
Felton, that whole crew, and then it was like that type of era right there. So it was all of them as the counselors that you're gonna get to play. Mike Sweetney from Georgetown, and then
Yep.
you had Mello, Amari, and Jared Jack from high school. There was a high school All-Americans that was there. So
Dang.
we there, we who BD had drove up, Baron Davis drove up from LA. So we there after we playing. At this point, we like it's like the middle of the summer. It's like August. And we don't got no shoe deal yet. And at this time, and one was
It
pumping,
was a
trying to
one.
grab people.
Yep.
Like I remember my man Harold from and one. Shout out H, man. He used to send me and D Miles so much gear, bro. Like, so right before we went to the camp, he had literally just sent the whole box, shipment, big box of stuff. So we go down there, all that stuff. That's what we
Of course.
hooping in and everything. So like after the first day, we hooping. We out, sitting down after we hooping, icing and drinking Gatorade and shit before we leave the gym. And Mike like, why y'all got on all this N1 crap? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on? Like, I thought y'all was Nike guys. And we was like, shit, we did too. Like, our agent saying that he ain't got the deal. They ain't give us a deal or whatever that he trying to get for us yet. And then, at that point, D Miles was the third pick, highest high school pick ever.
Right.
I was
Right.
kind of like in a position where at 18, you ain't gonna get much. I was getting really an apparel deal. So Mike was like, nah, don't worry about it. Like, I'm gonna take care of it. I got y'all. So then, our agent hit us the next day or whatever, like, yo, like, I don't know what MJ did, but he called and Nike said that y'all gonna be with him and y'all gonna get this. So I went from $0 to like for me was great at 18.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ain't gonna say
Yeah.
what it was, but from an apparel deal with no money to getting anything, I was like, damn, I was grateful for life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not only
Yep.
that, but like Mike, you know how we look at Mike from the crib, and it's like he handpicking us to be part of, and at that point we didn't even know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
it
Because
wasn't,
it
it
wasn't
was only,
established
it
like it
only,
was today.
it only existed for one season prior to that. We were the second year of it, and we came in right away and he plucked us. So it was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? We didn't even know. And then when
Yeah.
we got back to LA, boy, we found out quick. See, back then it's different from how it is now.
Of
When
course.
we first got there, it was only like 8 of us, like 7, 8 of us. We just call ourselves like the Navy SEAL. Like we was like the real, you know what I mean? We was a hired gun type group. And it was
Yep.
like they sent us everything. When I say everything, if Jordan made it, we got it. It was
You got
it
it.
was crazy. Me and D Miles was not ready for that, bro. I'm telling you, being from the crib, being how we looked up to Mike, how everybody knew that you wanted to have mics, and how people stood in
Absolutely.
line, cut school, and come to school from getting the mics at the drop
From
day,
getting them. Yep.
bro. When that stuff started coming in, how it was coming in, and we could just like, bro, anything could come. I could say, all right, cool, I got these. Hey, send me 5 more pairs of these because I love these. And like also send my brother, my sister, and my cousins, and
They
this
was on
person,
the
all
way.
of these. Bro, my nephew was in 7th grade at this point. By the time he went to Morgan Park, they used to think his name Taiwan Rich. They used to think he was like getting some fake shit because he got stuff months before it came out. Then they found out who he was, and then it was like they knew what it was, and they was like, "Yo, this is crazy." Like he
That's
was,
wild.
like just to think to be like he went through his whole from 7th grade through college. He went through that being flooded where people like I remember when he got to Atlanta, I used to have to send it special because at his apartment somebody stole the boxes one time.
Of
So it
course.
was,
Somebody always scheming on
hey,
somebody else.
hey,
They
listen.
come up.
He was super blessed, went through everything, player, all the way, flooded. Like when we started getting them boxes, bro, it was crazy. And back then
That
they
was
used to have the
it.
look. They had the jump man 23 line. It was like a kind of like a casual line where you used to get dress clothes too. I was like, bro, I
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
don't wear anything but Jordan everything, head to toe,
That was it.
24/7. Much
Yep,
like today,
yep.
like I don't wear nothing now. I don't wear the shoes as much. I got still get all the shoes and all that, but
Yeah.
like I'm the flip flop king. Flip
Okay, that's
flop
what you
to the
throwing
little.
over.
They got the little fake. They got their little version of Crocs and the slides. And
Uh-huh.
any slide, any conf. I'm built for conf. I don't wear nothing but ones. I don't wear hard bottoms with shoes with suits no more. Ones with everything. Ones go with
Man.
they didn't let the little people start wearing
Yeah.
sneakers and hey look,
Yeah,
I
with the
ran
suits
with
and
that.
come in.
What? You'll never
That's
catch me
it.
in hard bottoms again ever. It's look retro ones till I die.
That's it. That's it. That's funny. Some of you spoke on like y'all was out there at flight camp, but also what was happening like you with a group of people. I'm sure y'all had a bunch of crazy runs there. One thing that I always gotta ask because not everybody was privy to, especially here in the city. Of course, you got the pro-ams and stuff like that, but y'all had something special. Y'all used to get over there with Grover, MJ, Hoops to Jim. I promise you there needs to be. I actually want to do the documentary and just put it out there, bro, because
the thing that's tough about it is like
ain't
because
no footage.
that's exactly look. I was talking to my partner about that the other day. I was like, it was a different generation. Like you know how now,
Yeah.
like you see, shout out Rico Hines. He one of the ones
Yep.
that hold it down and do it out of UCLA, and that's a
UCLA
peer of
one.
mine. That's
Yep.
one of the homies. So he doing it big. But like now, how you see the gems being dropped after you see. I just saw one other day James Harden dropping jewels to the guys after they
Yep.
talked with Tyrese, Maxey in there and everything, and like those things happen every day, a million times a day at hoops. But like TG them wasn't about. First of all, Mike was there, so it ain't about to be no
Right.
damn camera. That was one,
Right.
and even it
Right.
just carried over to like even when he left to give that same respect to everybody else. Like we in here to get better. Somebody about to get this work every single day
Yep.
because they gonna
Yep.
get lined up against a killer. Like the way TG and G Money they set up the teams. If you
Who
was a
would all
two,
be in the gym?
bro, it could be like the early years, like bro, I could tell you like when me and Corey, when me and Corey McGetty first started going up there, right? This is like going into college, bro. We wing guys, two or threes, two
Right.
guard slash threes. Ain't no coming in there and like you gonna see you might be playing against you don't even know who. No, Pip, Finley, Stackhouse, Penny, Mike. This is who you about to be against every game. You about to get your ass
All
woe
summer
out,
long.
boy. You
All
hear
summer
me?
long.
And I don't get. I'm talking about it stayed that way. It don't matter what iteration of it came. You was about to be up against somebody that was gonna contest you or kill you that day on both sides. Both of y'all better be with it. And that was the way
Yeah.
they wanted. They wanted to be. They wanted to line up the dog so that it could be
Yep.
just head bashing. That's
Just
how it
go.
was. It ain't no light work. Ain't no easy day. Nah, you about to guard one of these killers, and it's gonna be some killers in here. And that's
That was
every
it.
day, bro. That was like, listen, it wasn't never like this was the crib, bro. When we hit summertime, like we had a good 8 to from 2000, probably 2 years before that, because they was already at it. But like peak was like from like 2000 to like maybe like
Yep.
probably like oh 08, oh
Yep.
07. And it was
Yep.
like, bro, every summer, people flying in
Yep.
town, people staying for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, people staying for this. Like everybody
Yep.
coming and we was gonna have at least a handful to 7, 8, maybe 9 of the top draft picks gonna be there for the whole pre-draft and coming back after the draft.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
and it's gonna be it's up every day, every day.
Every day. You know, it's crazy. I was having a conversation with Matrix. We was shopping it up. We was out in Vegas for summer league, and you know, we had him on the pod as well. He was on one of the other episodes, but he even talked about. He was like, man, it's crazy. He was like, it was so special, like painting a picture. Randolph Street. You pull up. You got all the cars sitting out
Yeah.
front.
It's a
Right.
car
It was a
show.
car show.
It's
It
a
was a
car
car
show.
show.
It's
You had you actually you probably didn't even have no whip like that until because it was like Twine
early
had
now.
his.
Yeah, no, I
Early on,
didn't.
it was like Twine had his.
I had
I
to wait
think
like
Finley had
04.
his. Jawan,
Let me
yeah.
let me let, let me just say this, right? Because I'm for real. Like I say this all the time. pulling up to that gym and going in there, bro, like for me, like Juwan Howard and Finn, right?
Yeah.
Because of the way they were, like Twan was the same way on their level, but he was more down. He was more in it with us. Like Twan to
Yeah.
be out, you know what I'm saying? Like they had more of a mystique to them because you saw less of them.
Yeah.
And the way that bro, I get to the gym at like 9 o'clock. Juan and Finn, they used to work out together. Juan and Finn are finished. You see what I'm saying? Like they won't be
Yeah.
back into the run. They done been here since like 7, 8 o'clock or something.
They
They
got their
finished
work in.
chilling, icing up, like super. Like when I say OG, bro, I'm talking about they were who, like when I got to that point where I was a rookie in the league and I got to be in that gym for a couple summers and looking at, I was like, I want to be them. Juan and Finn. Like they was like, bro, they was like Batman, like Bruce Banner.
Yeah. Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. Like, bro, look, when I say them two in particular, they was like little MJs, like, bro, them boys gonna pull up in something rare. I ain't talking about like, I'm talking about rare, bro. Rare. I'm talking about some type of Ferrari, Itaglias. Like, it's gonna be something like I used to call both of
You
them
ain't
Mike. I
never
used to call
seen.
Mike Finn, Mike Lowry, bro. Like, we like to this day, me and my partners, like, we tuck our shirt in, we call it the Mike Finn tuck. Cause like Mike, you was never gonna catch Finn untucked. I'm talking about for
Yeah.
workouts. Tank tops, shirts, t-shirts, whatever. He perfect tucked in, bro, looking like the picture of perfection. I'm talking about, and I say that because like, not only was they like, they were super cool, they was good to us, they always looked out and did the big bro demo with us, but like these dudes was top of the league.
Yeah.
Juan was the first
Yeah.
$100 million contract. You know what I'm saying? These dudes was doing it different. All
Yeah.
stars, this, that, in the community, giving back to us, showing us the way, but still flies dudes on the scene. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like super fly, pulling
Yep.
up like on some damn, what the hell going on? Like, yeah. I was like, that, look, I'm talking about well respected. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
respect Juwan. Everybody respect Finn. I'm talking about from older people to down to whoever. Like they get love from everybody because they did things the right way. And I was like, I got to do things like they do. I want people to look at me how I look at them, how I see other people look at them, and how they get that
Yep.
respect. I want people to respect me. That was one of the things that made me like, I gotta look out for young dudes. I gotta pay it for because they was doing that to me. You know what I'm saying? They was
Yep.
showing me how to move, and if I'm moving the wrong way, they'll pull me to the side, tug my chain, and like, yo, bro, like da 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 da. To this
Get it
day,
right.
always got super love and respect for them boys. Like to this day, every time I see them, like, what's up, OG? You know what I'm saying? Like nothing but
Yep.
love because they know
Yep.
it. And it's the same way back. That's why I got nothing but love for them.
Man, that's awesome. Like those relationships you built back then in the gym, summertime, they showed you the right way.
I'm
Honestly, to
telling you.
me, I feel like that's what's missing in the league today. Just
Yes.
my own perspective, just like the OGs ain't really there to help them navigate and show how to truly be a pro, both on and off the court. But that's a whole nother
The
conversation.
OG's 25 now. You get to
Yeah,
the team, dude been
exactly.
in the league 6 years, he 24.
Exactly, exactly. Like he's still trying to figure it out. He's
Yeah.
still doing stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to live life. But
Yeah.
nah, man. But nah, let's go there. So 13 years in the league, you done played with the Clippers. You done played with the Suns. You done been with the Knicks. I mean, you done played with so many. Like, what was that Orlando? What was that kind of mix for you in those experiences you had playing the game? Man, what you during that
Every,
time?
man, great. That's the one thing that I say. Like people ask me all the time, like, where did you enjoy playing more? Like I enjoy everywhere, bro.
Yeah,
Every team I played for, I made some relationships that's invaluable to me to this still to this day that matter. I'm Clippers we lost, New York we lost, but like I still had the time of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
I had good people around me. I made some of the best friends. You know what I'm saying? I got to meet some of the people that I never would have thought I'd meet. So for me, it was. I always made the best out of whatever was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like
for
I
sure.
wasn't gonna let being on a bad team. You know what I'm saying? Be the worst thing for me. I'm in the league. I'm living my dream. Like
Yeah,
prefer to be on one of the better teams? Yeah, but like, please, bro, like people would die to be in my position right now, legitimately. So
That's
like,
real.
I always looked at it like that. Like, no matter what team I'm on, what's going on, I'm living out my dream. I'm in the NBA. Things could be a billion times worse. And like, this is what I wanted to do since I could remember, and I'm doing it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna be cool with my teammates, be good to the people around, and like doing stuff like that. Like I built relationships and credibility that I didn't even know I was doing just by
Yep.
doing the right thing. By talking to, I don't got no ego about whoever it is. I could talk to the janitor or to the owner the same way, and I'm gonna be cool
Yep.
and respectful in the same way. I'm not gonna treat anybody less than because their description or their title or what I think they are. And the thing about it is, in this industry and in this league, in any industry, in any league, really, like, you gotta be careful, bro. It's people that I remember that I, was being cool with 10, 12 years ago, and they the man now. They run
Yeah.
stuff. They can put you in
Yeah.
play. And like just
Yeah.
doing right by people, not kissing nobody ass and but just doing right, you set yourself up. And I done reap so many different benefits from those type of situations where I was just kind. I was just cool to people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I ain't go out of my way to do nothing extra. I was just genuinely being chill and a cool person. And like it come back around and you like, damn, I didn't even remember you. And they like, yeah, man, but you was cool with me that day and I remembered that. So, now that I'm here, I want to try and do this. And it's like, yo, that's crazy. And
That's
it's like,
crazy.
you didn't even know you can't do it. You can't put the equity in because you can't even foresee what's gonna happen. It just happened. And it
Yep.
just, that's why I just try to do the right thing, man. Be cool with people.
That's real. That's real. So now you entered it in your second half, right? And so you took the shoes off for the last time. What was that kind of mental space that you in? Were you cool with it, or were you was like, man,
I
it's
didn't
a
even
harsh
know I was
reality
taking my
that had to
shoes
come?
off the last time I took them off, my boy. I didn't know that. Like, that's the coldest part about it. I tell these dudes now when I be doing and talking to the young fella, I'm like, yo, everybody ain't blessed as D Wade. D Wade knew exactly when he planned it. He had a
when
tour. He got a send off. It was fabulous. And I love
yeah,
that for D Wade. And I've told him this, but like, bro, that don't work like that. That
not
was a
with
fairy
everybody.
tale walk off.
Yeah,
Like, bro,
listen.
I got my last year was with the Magic in 13. Got cut out after training camp, and like I kind
Yep.
of got the word during camp because this was after the White left, and they were doing the whole tear it down, and we gonna start all over. So
Restruct.
everybody was getting de facto. Jameer, JJ, this person, that person. They came to me. They told my agent like in camp, yeah, we about to let him go. Da, da, da. So I knew me. I'm like, shit, like that's cool. All right, I'm about to go double dip. Like they gonna waive me, then I'm gonna clear waivers and I'm gonna sign somewhere else. I'm gonna get 2 deals this year. I'm like, cool, whatever. Get waived, go to the crib. Agent like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna, I let you know what's going on in a week or so, whatever. Just keep staying in
Yeah.
shape, I'm riding a bike, I'm running, I'm doing my thing, getting right, staying right. Agent called, he like, yeah, it's gonna take a little longer this, that, and third. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool, whatever. Shit starting to get too long now. I'm like, yo, what's going on? This
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
passed, this time passed. So like now a month then passed, another week, another month. Now I'm sitting here. Now I'm becoming the mad rapper, boy. I'm like, fuck basketball. I'm like, look, he weak. He weak. I'm hating on everybody. Like,
Right.
he weak. He terrible. Like, man, I'm better than him. Like, fuck, like, get the fuck, like all this.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I don't even want to watch basketball. I can't watch this. It's crazy. Man. I'm supposed to then. So then I get back cool. I'm working out. So I felt like I went through that whole that process that people go through when they first leave the league. I went through that year. But like I
Got you.
also had my wife was pregnant with my daughter, my first kid. So I had a big distraction to be focused and to kind of be happy about that and to be like, I'm here for everything. I get to go to this, go to that. I'm at the appointments. I get to see the baby kick. I get to see the pictures.
Yep.
I'm doing it. So it was kind of like a blessing in that was going on, kind of to distract me, not to be able to go full into like where I probably could have went with that because I was getting there. I was going crazy, like, man,
You
it's
was on the
crazy.
way.
So then
Yep.
the shit went on all the way to like the end of the season. My birthday, April 13th. So end of the season was like the 16th, right? So I'm like, it's like at this point, like April 3rd or whatever. I'm like, man, this
It's a
shit
wrap.
over with for this year. I'm like, ain't nothing happening. I'm like, so I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, man, I think I want to go to LA for my birthday, right? So I'm like, cool. I'm telling me and my wife, my homeboy, and we gonna go out there, get a little Airbnb, get out there. This was when, Chris Duhon was with the Lakers, then Steve Nash with the Lakers, Earl Clark with the Lakers. We go out with them the first night. Go out, party, drink, hang out. It's like the 12th. No, it's like the 13th. That was my birthday. And so next morning, phone ring at like 6 o'clock, West Coast time. I'm like, as soon as I see it, it's my agent. I'm like, I turn to my wife, I say, if he tell me somebody trying to do something right now, I'ma lose it. I'ma lose it. Show his shit. He like, where you at? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm in
Yeah.
LA. He like, you still in shape? I'm like, yeah. He like, the Knicks want to work you out. I'm like, the Knicks? Like, he like, yeah, they want to work you out. They on the road, they on the West Coast, they in Portland. They could fly you out there and then you can have a workout. I get up right then. I was standing in I was in the crib in the Hollywood Hills. I get up right then, like, all right, let me go run this liquor up off me if I'm about to go do this. So I'm like, I get up, I go start running. I got my headphones in, I'm running. I had been out there probably about 5 minutes. Phone ring again. He called, he said, okay, you don't have to go to Portland. They're gonna send somebody to LA. You just need to get a gym where you could do the workout at. Can you
Go
get a
work
gym?
at it.
So I'm like, yeah, I can get a gym. I'm like, I called D Wright. D Wright give me the gym. And so then like 15 minutes later, he called back. He like, all right, well, now they don't want you to work out. You know, because I know a lot of the people that were still there from my previous time. They like, if Q says he's in shape, they believe you. So like they just they want to sign you and they want you to come to New York. And I'm like, okay, like it's 2 games left. This one they was the number 1 seed though. They was the number 1 seed. This one they had Tyson, J Kidd, Melo, all of that. So what they was gonna do, they wanted to, back then, this was before the play-in and all that. This is when team used to take the last 2 to 3 games and just sit their guys and then, play the bench guys. So they signed me and Earl Barron, and we was gonna play the last game. This is when I found out all of that riding bikes, running, doing anything outside of hooping ain't hoop conditioning, bro.
No.
It is not.
No.
Bro, I hadn't played basketball that whole year, right? I was running.
Got real long, huh?
Man, I was running, riding a bike, sweating, look good, body cut. I look great. Man. So we get out there. I'm not starting. We not starting. Like they only, like in the NBA, you have to have at least 8 people dressed. So they had J.R. Smith put a warm up on. He didn't even have a jersey on up under. He was no way he's playing. He ain't even got a jersey on up under. He's got the sweats on. I mean, got the warm up.
Yep.
First play, like first quarter, bro, like a minute into the game. Now 7 of us is available to play. Right?
Yep.
1 minute into the game, Pablo Prigioni sprains his ankle. Now we down to 6.
Dang. All game long.
I subbed in the game for him. Did not come out no more in the second half. Bro, now I played at the Garden for 4 years. This was from 06 to like 09. Now this is 2013. They did all type of renovations and shit, right? Yep. So I'm used to like when you get to the tunnel, it's the tunnel. I ain't even been through, like, you know what I'm saying? Because practice is not at the arena. It's way out in White Place. So this is my first time even at the arena since for a long time. So I'm like, I'm bad out there. I'm like, I feel like the halftime bell, the horn go off. I'm like, yo, I don't feel right. Like, you know how you feel like you about to throw up or something, but like, let me go slow. Like none of, I can't even, if I try and run or something, it's gonna happen. Like, bro, I was walking. I'm looking. I'm like, just let me get past the curtains. If I get past the curtains, I don't care. I get to the curtains because I'm thinking now I'm gonna be in a tunnel. Yeah. If I get past the curtains, throw up. Now, mind you, I'm thinking I'm clear. I don't know. I have no clue that they right behind the curtains. Now they didn't change the whole thing. It's a whole now it's like how they got them courtside bars with the glass. And it's like people sitting there with food. Like I'm like. Bro, the trainer hurried up and came and got like, come on, let me give you give me some Gator lights and all this stuff. Cause like, I still had to play.
Right.
I was like,
You
bro,
only
this was.
got 6 out there, so hey.
Hey, look, I got 11 rebounds though. I couldn't make nothing. I missed. I think I made one shot, missed everything up, but I got 11
And,
rebounds though. I
and
remember
that's all
that.
you needed to do. Hey, that's all you needed to do right there.
But
No,
that let
that's
me
hilarious.
know riding a bike, running is not hooping.
That ain't it. That ain't
Mm-mm.
it. No, for sure, for sure. For sure. So go ahead. Now you in this space, this new space. Were you all? Did you ever plan out to say, "Hey, you want to get into the podcast space or media, anything like that"?
Media. I took broadcast journalism was my major in college at school.
Okay,
So
okay. So
I
you at least
planned.
had that background.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. Like I had that little that in my back pocket. Like, yeah, I want to be do something in sports after sport, but I didn't know what. I didn't plan or think it out or whatever. I did the Sportscaster U
Yep.
class that they give out with the NBPA and the NBA do. I did that at Syracuse University like in 2011 or whatever. So I was still, planning to do something like try and be on NBA TV or something like that after I got done. I did have
Yeah.
that kind of plan, but like with the
Yep.
podcast, no. I didn't even know what a podcast was, bro. Me
Right.
or D.
Right.
We did not. I didn't know what that icon was on the iPhone or nothing. I had never touched that
I ain't
little
never
purple
touched it
icon.
or anything.
I had
Man, that's
never.
crazy. That's
And
crazy.
what happened was I did the letter to my younger self, The Shy. The Shy was about to start the series, The Shy, and they was
Yep.
doing some type of collab with the Players Tribune, and they wanted to have a kid from Chicago, an athlete from Chicago, who had like a story, a deep background from Chicago, whatever. And like once they heard about my story, losing brothers, the gunfire, and all of that stuff, they was like,
Yep.
"Oh yeah, this is all
That's
type
the
of stuff is
one.
gonna be in the show." So let's see. They didn't know what I was gonna say, but they were like, "Let's try him." So when I did the story, it was like crazy. It went. A lot of people reacted and read it and was talking about it and stuff like that. A lot of different people reached out. So then D Miles had gone through what he was going through, and he was still kind of going through it at first. But I got D Miles to move here to Florida to get up out of East St. and come down to Orlando. And
Yep.
like he was still had to go through what he was going through and get right. But I was telling him like, yo, bro, like the reactions that I'm getting and that I gotten and still are getting from the thing I did with them, like I feel like you could, cause like the thing that did it for me, bro, was when I went and spoke to some kids at Florida State.
Yep.
And I spoke to like they had like this group that was like over the whole athletics with all of the males from the athletics, all of the team, tennis, swimming, everything. They would come and do these things and have people speak to them. And I went. D Gates was the assistant coach at Florida State. Then he had me. He
Right.
hooked it up. I came and I spoke. And I'm speaking, telling my story and doing my thing. And it's like I'm kind of making eye contact with people that look like me, the hoopers, the football players standing third. So afterwards, talking and standing around for anybody want to come holler at me. White boy swimmer come up to me, bro. He was a swimmer, and he was like, he had tears in his eyes though. He was like, dude, he was like, right now today, he was like, I was thinking about leaving school because he had just lost his mom the year before, and I was
Oh.
telling stuff about that. So he was like, right now was the first time that I really felt like that, like man, I everything may be okay. Like, and he was like crying. He was like, I appreciate you for like, for sharing your story right now. Like, I felt like you was talking directly to me. Like, I just felt like you was talking to me, and I was like, damn. And like that had never happened to me before. So I was telling D like, bro, like it's somebody out there that if
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, you tell your story, and like how like we always kind of like off me, like man, they gonna twist it and do this. I'm like, nah, bro, like they really I had already did it. So I was like, this really gonna be your story and your words and your voice and whatever way
Yep.
you want to do it, or you don't like this, you don't like that, you could, what I'm
You get
saying,
to
you gonna
own that
make
how
it
you want to do it.
and you
Yep.
gonna before it go out, you gonna know what's going out and you gonna have something to say if you have something to say. So he was like, it took him a long time to come around to it, but then when he finally did do it, like I was there with him through that process. And so like it was kind of like they got to see me and his chemistry. And they was like, man, like by the time they got through doing that, they was like, yo, y'all gotta do something together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all got this like this relationship y'all got is
The
like
natural
it's
relationship.
a organic real thing and like it pops. Like you could just see it. Like being around y'all and being and watching y'all go back and forth, like y'all gotta do something. And my boy Chris Bernard, who I met with the Knicks. Chris Bernard,
Yeah.
now he left the Knicks and
Yeah.
he was at the Players Tribune with Jeter and them. And so he the one who really brought it all together and got this whole thing going. He was like, y'all need to do something. And so we kind of like, once we talked back and forth, we landed on this. And again, like Chris was like, I'm like, we didn't know what a podcast was, but like,
Right.
we went back and forth, and then me and Black sat down and we talked about if we gonna do this, how it's gonna be done, and what we will and won't do. And then like the rest is just basically
The
history.
rest is
Like, you know what I'm
history.
saying? Yeah, for real. Like once we got around to the idea of doing it and everybody we all got on the same page, it was lit.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Like such a credible space. Not only y'all got that real, natural, organic relationship that you see it comes out, it's authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like y'all talk that real shit as it
Yeah.
should, and that's the
Yeah.
beauty. And that's the beauty of what it is that
Yeah.
we do. And you able to bring it out of other people, which them the stories that everybody want to hear. They don't want to hear the fabricated, planned out. Like it's these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that we even have it. That's
Yeah,
what
now
people want to hear.
that was what after we started doing it, we started to see. Like we didn't know, like when we first did the first couple things, and like it's like, okay, we did it. Like, and then it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like once we started to get a rhythm in doing it, we started to see from the actual people that we was talking to, like our guests, we started to see how they were about it. And it
Yep.
like you find out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, obviously you can see now it's been a nuclear bomb went off with
Yeah,
everybody just doing it now. So
absolutely.
it's like you see,
Yeah,
it ain't no way. People want to talk. People want to talk their shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's kind of like the way the world worked and the way media and content is coming so much, like, we don't remember everybody. We don't give everybody all of their flowers all of the time. So it's
for
like,
sure.
we started to see that like this is kind of like a a little pop up for them, a little pop out for some of these people that's
Yep.
not being talked about or not getting some of the credit or getting in these conversations for being who they are. Like it's some bad boys out here, and we get it. The all of the entertainment and stuff go the way it go, and they draw certain people don't. But it's like in this world that we live in, we talk every single day about certain people that don't nobody talk about. And like
Don't
we
nobody talk
wanted to
about.
we wanted to first of all know that we gonna be positive. We not about to have no negativity or no drama or no clickbait or no BS in our
Yep.
show.
Yep.
We about to be
Yep.
genuine about we fans of who you are and what you did, and we want to talk about that shit, and we want to show you love because we know it's a lot of people like us that respected the hell out of your game, loved your game, and we know like why they ain't talking about them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we done had so many different people, bro, like from the biggest names, from the biggest top 25, top 75 players of all time to some of the people that's just your favorite hooper that don't get that much love. Like
Yep.
to this day, Glenn Big Dog Robinson is gonna always be one of them ones, bro. And he don't get no love. They don't never
Right.
talk about Big Dog.
We
Like he didn't
we
average
just talked
30
about
in
him.
college, bro. That was
Right.
unreal. He was giving people that damn work. And he
He
went
was
straight to
getting
the league and
busy.
did the same thing after holding out. And they blackballed him because he held out and he messed up the whole. That's why we got a rookie scale, because he did it first, and then Chris Webber and all of them boys started like, oh no, I need this. You know what I'm saying? Like once Big Dog was really that dude, got to the league, really
He's the
that
one.
dude. But because he kind of shook up the tail, like he don't get that love. He don't get
You don't
no
get the love like
he
that.
don't get no running back and bringing him up and talking about his career, none of that. Like when we did that episode, like everybody in the hood went crazy, especially from the
Yep.
crib. We
Yep.
know that's Indiana. That's right there. We all know
Right
what
down the
Big
way.
Dog was doing. What?
Right
Then he
down the
went to
way.
then he went to Milwaukee and finished doing it. So like we know what, man. Come on, man. Big
Yeah.
Dog.
No. It's funny you said that because I had Junkyard Dog on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
We had him. We was down there in Vegas as well, and he was talking the exact. He was like, man, he was like, that's when I tell you that was the one. He was like, man, we used to go at it. Obviously, he was calling Twine out. I guess him and Twine had a nice little back and forth that they used to be
Mm-hmm.
get to it on the court. But he said, Big Dog. He said, yeah, we used to go
I'm
at it,
telling you. I'm telling you.
and he was putting in work. But agreed, like those are the stories. Like it ain't always about having the MJs and the Magic Johnsons and you know what I'm saying, and the the top of the top, the Cheryl Swoops, right? It's
They
more
matter,
about
but
they matter.
these other people do too.
Yep, exactly. I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right
Yeah.
there with you. Now, I gotta ask. So what? Obviously you still in this space. Y'all killing it over with the Knuckleheads. You and Darius and the rest of the team. What's next for Q Rich? Like, one thing I know about you is you gonna make sure you the community is good. You gonna make sure that you tapping in and helping building up, and you want to make sure you see everybody thrive and win.
Yeah, man. Same thing, man. Just keeping it moving, man. Doing what we doing with the pod, still touching the community, and I still got the other side missions I'm doing. I guess I got NBA Hooper Vision, doing some broadcasting with the Magic, and
Okay.
just staying ready for whatever, man. I'm in a good position where I get to be at the crib, like you say, be a dad, be with my kids, drop them off at school, but still do these things. So just trying to just stay in this area, man. Just stay in this lane where I got the freedom to do that, but still be able to take care of the fam and everything is comfortable on that side. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
the COVID sucked, but it birthed a lot of
It
different
birthed.
things that you could get to the business from the crib. So from that standpoint, I'm grateful for it because, like I say, it's huge for me to be able to, I love being able to take my kids to school, pick them up, see how their day was, and really get all of those reactions right away and know what was going on, and I have to hear it through FaceTime or hear it through the wife and stuff like that. So I'm super grateful for that.
Absolutely, bro. Well, one, me over here at the second half podcast. One, I got to give you your flowers, you and Dad, because as you said, y'all birthed something that was crazy, that exploded into something more, giving athletes a voice, former athletes, current, no matter what level, you gave them an opportunity, and honestly, you inspired me to continue on and start this podcast myself, right? And so I just give my flowers to you because I ain't gonna lie, you, Corey McGady, Corey is half the reason why I wore number 50 itself. I
Yeah,
wore 50 first because of Gary Bell out in Joliet, and then I was like, hey, this cock diesel dude right here,
yeah,
this dude taking off just springy as ever, like he the
yeah.
one. But I say that because you guys help even with the Warriors, playing with LB and Slug, and I mean our AAU team was. I mean, we had some dogs too. I will say we had Andre Iguodala, Lando Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
We just had dogs that was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Rick Cornett. So we had them ones as well. But nah, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you being on the podcast. I gotta ask this one question before we get out of here. Gotta ask the one question, of course. Who was the first person to bust your ass?
Oh man, listen, I done said this before on the record. Vashawn Leonard, Vashawn
Rashawn
Leonard,
Leonard was the one.
rookie year in Denver. I want to say it was preseason, my first start. I wasn't used to the altitude, and I was disrespecting who Vashawn Leonard was. I wasn't respecting that anybody in the league, especially somebody starting, but I wasn't respecting that anybody in the league will give you that work.
Yeah.
And listen, 6 minutes in, man had 17. 6 minute timeout. I come out the game, come sit down next to Keon and D Miles, and they looking at me like, and I'm truly like, yo, what just happened? I'm not talking about like, oh, he just got lucky. He was hit. Like he was giving me work, bro. Post
However
up,
you
ha
wanted it.
ha ha, turn fade, coming down, hitting threes, moving me like just like pivot work. Like I was out there in the Matrix, bro. Dead
Right.
tired, can't breathe, all that in one. Vashawn Leonard was the
He was
first
the
one
one.
to give me the
Man.
business.
Man, I love it. Well, look, one, appreciate you being on the second half podcast. For all those tuning in, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Please follow. And if you ain't checked out the Knuckleheads podcast, you definitely got to get over there and go check out Q and what they doing over there. Man, appreciate you being on the podcast. All those tuning in again. We out. Peace.